Hello, everyone. My name is Chi-Ming Yang, and my colleague Japar is with me as well. We are from the Title I Monitoring and Support Office, and today's presentation for this session is about foster youth, parent-guardian notifications, early childhood development, and school accountability report card for Title I Part A funds. The CE items that are going to be covered for this presentation are CE4, CE8, CE10, CE18, and CE19. Here are the presentation outcomes. We hope that at the end of this presentation, you are going to gain knowledge to address the legal requirements for CE4, foster youth, CE8, notices in parents' primary languages, CE10, parent notification of English learner status, CE18, early childhood development, and CE19, local educational agency post-school accountability report card. Let's look at the legal requirements for CE4 for foster youth students. To address the transportation need for foster youth students to and from the school of origins, LEA shall collaborate with state and local child welfare agency to designate a point of contact within the LEA to serve as point of contact for the LEA. The LEA must develop written procedure governing how transportation to maintain children in foster care in their school of origin will be provided, arranged, and funded as applicable. The procedures shall ensure the following: prompt transportation in a cost-effective manner, agreement for additional costs incurred in providing transportation to children in foster care. Let's look at the evidence request for CE4. Point of contact. This is a person designated as point of contact at the LEA. The point of contact must include full name, address, phone number, and email address. Foster youth transportation procedures, guiding the district on how to support the need for transportation for foster youth students to the school of origin. Let's look at the legal requirement for CE8, notices in parents' primary languages. The legal requirements for these items consist of two parts. The first part is federal requirements to provide vital information to parents whose first language is not English. The school and LEA shall ensure that information related to school and parents' programs, meetings, and other activities is sent to parents, guardians of participating children in a format to the extent practicable in a language the parents and guardians can understand. And this is a part 2. To ensure that parents receive vital information in a language that they can understand, when 15% or more of students enroll in a public school that provides instruction in kindergarten or any grades 1 to 12 inclusive speak a single primary language other than English, as determined from the census data submitted to the department pursuant EC section 52164 in the preceding years. All notices, reports, statements, records sent to parents or guardian of any such student shall be written in English and in the primary language. This is a requirement from the state of California for taking Title I Part A funds. Let's look at the evidence request for CE8. We do not require you to submit a lot of documents for this particular items. All we need is a few notice in a language other than English sent to parents, guardians from the district office and from each sample schools, not the entire district. Therefore, we ask that you provide only a few sample notices that you send to parents in a language other than English, in English from the district office and from each sample school. Next, my colleague will talk about CE10 and the legal requirements for that item. Thank you.
Thank you, Chiming. Hello, everyone. My name is Gurk Jagpal, and like Chiming, I'm also a consultant with the Title I Monitoring and Support Office here at the CDE, and I'll be finishing up the rest of today's presentation. So CE10 is a parental notification of English learner status. Each LEA using Title I Part A funds or Title III funds to provide a language instruction educational program needs to comply with the parent guardian notification requirements of CE10. There are two letters that are required as part of the CE10 requirements. The first is the annual notification. This goes out for students who were previously identified as ELs and remain ELs. This letter needs to go out no later than 30 days after the start of the school year, and it reminds the parents that their child is an EL. The second letter is the initial notification letter. This letter is for any child who was identified as an EL during the school year and is sent out to parents during the first 2 weeks of the child being placed in an EL program. On the next 3 slides, we'll cover the content of the EL notification letters. The letter must include the reason for the student being identified as an EL, their level of English proficiency and how the levels were assessed, the method of instruction used in the available EL programs, and the method of instruction used in other programs that might be available within the district, and how the program will meet the educational strengths and needs of the child. The EL letters must also include how the program will help the child learn English and meet standards, and the letter must include specific exit requirements for the program. And if the child is on an IEP, the letter must include how the program meets the objectives of the IEP. Finally, the notification letters must include information related to the guardian's rights, and this includes the right to have the child removed from the EL program upon request, and options that the parents have to decline to enroll or to choose other options, other programs, and also assisting guardians in selecting amongst various programs and methods of instruction. Here's the evidence request that we will ask for CE10. You'll want to make sure you provide us one completed sample of both the annual and the initial letters that contain all the required elements under CE10. When uploading this, please make sure to redact any personal information that can be used to identify the student. For example, you'll want to redact their names. On this slide, we also have a link of where you can find sample templates of both the annual and initial letters. These templates meet all the legal requirements of CE10. The webpage is https://www.cde.ga/SP/E/L parent letters.asp. The next item we'll be covering is CE18, which is CE Early Childhood Development. This item states that if the LEA uses Title I Part A funds and provides early childhood education services to low-income children below the age of compulsory school attendance, the services shall comply with Head Start standards. Since most LEAs in the state do not use Title I funds to supplement early childhood development, we find that this item is often not applicable. If you do use Title I Part A funds to supplement early childhood education below the age of compulsory school attendance, then we'll look for the following evidence for CE18. We'll look for the early childhood development curriculum, we'll look for lesson plans as part of your documentation, and finally, we'll ask for the SIPSA for the sites under review. Moving along to the last item of today's presentation, we have CE19, which is the LEA Post SARCs. This item requires that the LEA annually issue and update a SARC for all schools. The SARCs need to contain all required elements and publicize, and the LEA also needs to notify parents that a hard copy will be provided to a parent or guardian upon request. In order to clear CE19 during a review, we ask for the following evidence: a PDF version of the most recently published SARC for only the schools that are being reviewed. And last but not least, you'll need to provide us with evidence of the SARC hard copy availability notification. Usually this is found in your district's annual notification or handbook, and it's usually a few sentences explaining what the SARC is, where to find it, and that parents can request a hard copy of it. If you ever have questions here, here's the contact information for our office. We're the Title I Monitoring Support Office. Our phone number is 916-319-0854. Our contact information is, our phone number is 916-319-0854. Our email address is timso@cde.ca.gov. And you can find contact information for the TIMSO program reviewers on the California Department of Education's Title I Part A Monitoring and Support webpage at www.cde.ca.gov/SP/1T1-Timso.asp. That concludes our presentation today, and you will shortly be joining us, hopefully, for a quick live Q&A session. So see you shortly, and thank you for listening to our presentation.